Hi, Weston here, and now it's time for another episode of Cartoon Theory. I doubt I might get comments on this one, but if I do, I'd be surprised. The reason I say this is because today, my cartoon theory is about a rather obscure anime called Here is Greenwood. This 6-episode miniseries showed off the misadventures of Kazuka Hazukawa and his work at the Ryokuru Academy. Now, this may be a shock for those listening, but Here's Greenwood was dubbed twice, by completely different companies. In 1996, Central Park Media and Software Sculptors acquired the rights to dub Here's Greenwood with Taj Productions. Like Slayers, Here's Greenwood launched the careers of some interesting voice actors, including Ted Lewis, Eric Stewart, Jim Malone, and Casey Rogers. And of course, the character of Jun Kazaraki was voiced by Lee Quick, who voiced a longtime favorite Pokemon character, Officer Jenny. In fact, before I researched this series, I totally had no idea that Shun was actually a male. They really fooled me. But this is where the bad news comes into place. By 2004, John Starabella and Bang Zoom Entertainment bought the rights to Here's Greenwood and decided to re-record the entire miniseries with entirely new voice actors. With the entire recording dubbed in California, which included talents such as Johnny Young Bosch, Dave Wittenberg, Kirk Thornton, Felice Sampler, Lex Lane, and Wendy Lee. They even had the nerve to recast Shun. For the redub, they gave the voice of Shun to Julianne Taylor, giving him more of a boy-like raspy voice compared to Lee's voice. But in my opinion, Lee Quick will always be the top voice for Shun. I mean, when she voiced Shun, she sounded like a more enthusiastic Officer Jenny. Same thing with Casey Rogers as his brother Raina. I don't know why the heck they had to recast him as well. I mean, Casey's performance was fine. So basically the question that I haven't gotten to yet is why did they decide to redub Here's Greenwood as opposed to re-releasing it on original DVD? Well, since there are no hardcore evidence on why that is, the only thing I could think of is that maybe Bang Zoom Entertainment saw the original dub themselves and just felt that it didn't work. In other words, it wasn't what they were expecting. Now, if you disagree with the dub changes and prefer the new dub, that's fine. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. You won't find the Taj dub on DVD at all, but the good news is that you get to see it here on YouTube. I'll provide a link to the description of the episodes you are interested in. The last thing I want to say is that if Bang Zoom wanted to redub this series, they could have at least taken a look at the character voices that were already cast in the 90s dub and figured which ones they should keep in while recasting the rest. Just keeping Shun and Raina's voices the way they were when they were dubbed back in 1986. It would have been simple, you know? But all that frustration aside, at least Lee Quick's performance in the miniseries is what gave her the job to do Officer Jenny throughout seasons 1 through 7 of Pokemon. Well, that concludes today's video. Join me again soon for another cartoon theory. Bye for now.